It's time to roll for Turaco. Welcome to Roll for Turaco. This is Frank, and I'm going to be using the D100. This version of the D100 is this ball dice, and I'm going to be using some questions that I got from Reddit, which I printed out, and these are D100 TTRPG friendly warm up roleplay questions by Reddit user Jackaloppy. So I thought this would be cool uh, to use to either create the backstory of your character or just ask questions about your character, whether it's in game or out of game. It is meant for in game, just to either get a little conversation going with your players. You roll a D100, pick a question, and you answer something about your character. But I thought it also works for, just helping you develop your backstory if that's something that you're struggling with, if you're new, or just want to flesh out the character a little bit more. So I think these are good. Just for that, you don't have to really roll anything. You can just go over some questions and see. Oh, you know what? I should add this, or this is something I could add to my motivation. So these are D100 TTRPG friendly warm up role play questions, and Jackaloppy posted those on Reddit, so you can find it there. What I did is I copied and pasted all the questions on a Word document, and I added them all, and also added the title and the name. And when you print it out, it's 5 pages. So I thought, I'd do some here. This is not a a hack or anything. It's just something to help you. So I'm going to roll, actually be rolling for something, roll for Turaco, some questions, and I'll see if what I come up with. And I thought I'd use the D100. I think I know this is the only D100 that I have. I know people use the percentile dice. I don't know how to use that for something like this, to pick questions from 1 through 100. I know there is a way, and people will say, oh, well, if you do this and multiply this and add this and carry the 1. And it's a lot of extra math when I can just use 1 die. All right, so let's roll for Turaco. I'm going to roll on this little box. Okay. And this is tricky because I don't know what number is pointing up. Oh, it's still rolling. Okay, I'm just gonna go for the number it's like staring right at me. 41. Yeah, so this I might look into another D100 because it can be hard to read because it doesn't really stay in a certain place. And also, I'm just doing it on my hand. So that was 41. I'm not going to do them all, but let's see. Okay. Does your character care about how they're perceived by others? How do they change themselves to fit in with other people? So let's see. So I have a few characters, not too many, but I do have a few characters that I rolled up. And this would actually help with some characters where I I'm still working on uh, their uh, well, just their personality and part of their backstory. But I think I'll apply this to Leffy. That's the cleric elf that I am currently using in a play by forum game, and the system that we're using is basic fantasy. So I'm going to apply this to Leffy. So does your character care about how they're perceived by others? How they change themselves to fit in with other people? He doesn't necessarily care what people think. Like he's not like, oh, you know, do they think I'm nice, or do they like me, or but he is conscious of that, and he does try to work on himself to not come off as overbearing or a know-it-all, or just someone that's annoying. So it's not that like he's really concerned about what people think. He's he mostly spent his time in the church that he served in, and just serving. So that's what he cares about. Serving others and serving his community and serving his church. But he does when he is around other people, because usually he's just around clerics. When he's around other people, he is conscious of how he acts, and since he really hadn't been around a lot of non-cleric people, non-clerics, uh, they all pretty much acted in a similar manner. They may be in their private quarters, where you see a little bit more about themselves. But in front of other people, his party, the party that he's in, he's probably just like, I don't want to come off as a coward or timid, but he keeps to himself, but he does interact with the rest. He's mostly either going through his spiritual book and writing notes, and writing prayers and praying. But when he's in the battle, and when he's with his party, when they're traveling and trekking, he is concerned for them, so he tries to serve them. So he doesn't necessarily readjust anything. He's just more conscious about them. So that's for Leffy. How about the different characters? So I made a character called El Cotoro, and I plan to use that for All Sorts Reigns, because that's the system that I made this character for. But uh, you could easily fit that in Basic Fantasy, or even have Leffy, a Basic Fantasy character, in an Old Sword Reign character. Old Swords Reign. I should get the book, but it's fine. Because they're similar. They're rose light. For El Cotoro, now he's a bard and also an expert. I think that's what it's called. Let's see. Okay. So he does care because he needs to get by unnoticed sometimes. So that's where he uses a lot of his expert feats. He'll try to charm them. Depending on who it is. If it's a noble or someone of stature, he'll try to charm them, because he might be trying to steal from them, or he's trying to get information. And if he's like going in the underbelly of the city, and he's trying to get information from other thieves and scoundrels and just ne'er do wells, he's not gonna go in like, hey guys, what's up? He's gonna act a little bit more seedy. So there he does change how others perceive him, because he needs it for his own his own devices, for whatever he needs to do. And he's also a master of disguise, but he has the disguise feat, so he needs to blend in. So that's how he changes his how people perceive him. Right? I think that's good. I could just end the video now, but let's do a couple of more questions. So get the D100, and I could just pick and choose, but I don't get to use this that much. So roll for Turaco. I hope I'm not coming down with something. So let's see. The number that's kind of popping up, and because of the light, is 20. It's also early in the morning. I just had a cup of coffee, but still kind of waking up. But this video might go out a little later. So 20. It's on this page. What is the biggest mistake your character has made? Let's see. So if we apply that to Leffy, he hasn't made huge mistakes, and El Kotoro hasn't really. I haven't played him, but it could be something that working with in his backstory. That he may have done something in the past. Maybe stolen from. Someone that he thought was either a scoundrel or a bad guy, but because he was giving false information. So maybe they weren't a bad guy, and stuff is just coming up right now. But they're just a small business owner trying to get by, support his family, and maybe stole something of value from them because they thought they're gonna do some shady things because they're getting purposely bad information. So that could be something for El Kotoro, and it could be why he wears a mask when he's out there doing stuff, because someone will recognize him. Hey, you're that guy that you really messed over that that small shop owner who had 5 kids to feed. Okay. I hadn't even thought of that until I got this question. For Leffy, not huge mistakes, but it does kind of go into the first question for if he cares how people perceive him, because in game there was something that Leffy did that others took, the other players saw as like, oh, he's being a coward. And that goes into not just the in-game story, but the real world, like me, the player, how I was playing him, and also because it's a play-by-forum game. I had missed some maybe a day or two, and there was like the game was still going. So when I came in, like, oh, a lot of moves have happened, and I didn't want to go back and read paragraphs and paragraphs of what's going on. So I had Leffy just ask, oh, what I miss? And I didn't really get a lot of information, like nothing like, oh, we're fighting this guy or doing this guy. So, and I think I had missed a turn. So I had Leffy just kind of sit down until, and, he was ready until it was his turn. And also, this is my very first game, and it's still recent. It's just a few months ago, so I was still learning on how is it that your character would act. So I just had him sitting by, but the other characters saw him as being a coward. So that was a mistake he made that made people think that his party members think that he was a coward. So, but that made him want to just be a little bit more not active, proactive, or just be in be in the fight more, or want to fight, or want to help others, or in any way, or just try to communicate with them, with the players, the party. So he's not just like, oh, okay, I'm just sitting here and waiting for you to say, hey, I need you. Yeah, uh, so yeah, that's one of his mistakes, and a little update on where we are with Leffy in the party. So I think we are currently fighting some hobgoblins. We had just finished going into, uh, I think it's a mines with goblins, and we'll find out there's they're being enslaved by hobgoblins. So they're fighting some of the hobgoblins that are still alive. And we have lost one of our party members, and right now, uh, and just because of time and scheduling, and also since it is a play-by format, so it is paused until the DM can come back, because hey, life happens, and that is something can be good or bad about play-by-form games. You can just kind of like uh, continue where you left off, but also they're notoriously slow and longer. Yeah. But right now we're on just a little pause, just for I think for a few days. I'll check. Maybe it started back again today, but right now no big mistakes that Leffy has made, uh, and the our party member that died. It wasn't because of anything Leffy did. It was just hey, the roll of the dice. So I guess we can do one more question. I was just gonna go through the questions, but I will roll. Okay. It's not. I'm gonna get a new new D10. Okay, let's see. Right here on the table. Okay, you can't see it, but it did land good. And I'll see the number that's kind of sticking up. So 51. Let's see. Oh, I missed it. Okay. Is your character the most swayed by ethos, pathos, or logos? This is interesting. And this might be something that I will say for um, just character building. Like, build not building the character itself, but building their character, the type of person that they are. So I'm going to save this, and it's for one big reason. I don't remember what each of those words mean, so I'm gonna look it up. But yes, that is something I can use for both Leffy and El Cotoro, and some of my other characters. And I will at least mention those characters in another video, because that goes in that those are characters for I don't know if it's necessarily a system yet, but for another game that I'm actually going to talk about on the channel. So that video has been uh, in the works for a while. There's just a lot of stuff that I'm doing for that video, but that would work for those characters. And these work also for, I mean, you can use them for solo play, just to fleshing out some of your characters or NPCs. Uh, so I'm gonna roll again, so I can actually answer a question. Okay, 11. Okay, I'm just gonna the one that's sticking up, but some of these it was a teeter tottering in between. 11. Let's see. Describe your character's current relationship with the player character sitting to your right. Okay, so that would be like an while you're playing. um, and I guess if it's an in-person game. But with El Cotoro, he hasn't been in a game, so that one doesn't the can't use it for him. But for Leffy, and if I remember, the person that he's actually next to is a gnome druid by the name of Whitnick. Uh, so I think their relationship right now it's mostly they get along well enough, and they it's almost like a professional relationship right now, since Whitnick is a druid, so it'll be like a forest cleric, a nature cleric. They have leveled up at the same time and have similar abilities and spells. Also, Whitnick has a dire wolf. I think it's a dire wolf, or maybe it's just a wolf, but I do believe it's a dire wolf. Uh, and so Leffy has been sticking with them, so just trying to help them, and secretly he likes animals. So he's like, oh, it's a big doggy, and this is all like in Leffy's mind. He's not voicing this. But I think that would be like the right now it will be a they he respects Whitnick, so, but he does have a little bit of relationship with the rest, with the party, with Brogar the dwarf, and I think he's a fighter. So Brogar is the one that just died. So actually, current in the game, Leffy is trying to avenge the death of Brogar. So that's where we are right now. And there are two other members, and they get along fine. But maybe as we go along, we're able to develop that part of the the game, the relationship aspect. But right now, it's just fighting and going on quests and earning treasure. That's where we are right now. I think that's it for these questions. I think they're good questions, and you don't necessarily need them. But if you want to use them to help you flesh out a backstory, if your campaign is more story driven, or if it's just something for you to help you motivate you while you're playing your character, I do recommend these. And also it's meant to ask within the party. just to get get people to kind of know each other, so you can develop better relationships within the game. But yeah, you can find this on Reddit. It's gonna be a Reddit post. I was thinking about maybe just making the document Word document available, or you can just download it. Um, but I didn't really want to take anything away from the Reddit user Jackaloppy. But so you can look it up on Reddit. And the reason that I actually printed out these questions, it wasn't necessarily because I wanted something for in game. I don't remember if I've mentioned this on this channel before, but I am part of a speech club, an international speech club called the Toastmasters, and the club, like my chapter, or the chapter that I'm in, the club that I'm in for my city. Uh, we and all clubs have this, but we do something in each meeting called table topics. So I was looking for table topic questions that were more specifically fantasy orientated, or tabletop role playing game orientated, and see what I could find. And I found this, but it's very specific to. I'm going through puberty right now. It's very specific to your character, and what does your character do. And not everyone there has either played or heard of role playing games. So I thought this would be good for just something to use for my game, or just at the table. But right now it's just me. So, but yeah, so I thought that would be good because I like the table topics, because you get asked a random question and you have to come up with an answer like right then and there. And so these were actually donated to my club by a club member of high or good standing. Member's been there for like a very long time, so she donated these, and these are playing cards that have questions, so perfect for table topics, and these are family friendly. Okay. So you could use something like this for your game as well, but I was looking for something uh, very specific to to fantasy or role playing games. And I know there are. I think there's a book out there. I have to look for it. Just an example. So, oh, okay. When was the last time you cried? So, okay, this could be something that we could be used in game. What do you consider to be the greatest accomplishment of your life? So, what would be the greatest accomplishment that one of my characters has done? Well, right now, not much, but that is interesting. I just thought I'd show these and share these questions. So, this has been Frank Salazar with Roll for Troco, and hope you didn't find this video too boring. It's just me talking and answering questions about my characters. If you like this video, leave the video a like, a comment. Let me know what you thought of this video, and what other type of videos would you like to see in the future on this channel. Also, I do have a tip jar, a PayPal tip jar. So if you want to donate anything, this channel is not monetized. I do not have sponsors or anything like that. It's not yet, maybe someday, but but if you just want to help out, if you like what the type of videos I put out, you just want to donate a little something, a little tip, maybe so I can get a cup of coffee. But it's not necessary, it's not mandatory. But if you want to help out the channel, and don't want to, don't have the finances for it, share this video, share out the channel, tell people about the channel. Tell, hey, check out Roll for Turaco. Oh, I forgot my tagline. This has been Frank Salazar, Roll for Turaco. I messed up my tagline. That's not how I say it. This has been Frank Salazar. Stay creative and don't forget to roll for Turaco. Roll for Turaco. Subscribe.